This is David Prosper, host of the Leadership Revolution. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast from Public House Media.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Your Life Matters podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Mariah White, and I am a passionate pediatric nurse practitioner and fired up health and happiness coach, here to deliver a message to you. This podcast is meant to provide a hope and a dream that fuels your soul to dream big and to dream bold and to inspire and empower you to live out your wildest freaking dreams and to grab a hold onto the unwavering truth that you were made for more. What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. I am so grateful you're here. I just want to come in a safe place. I want you to take a deep breath from the hustle and bustle. Maybe you are having some anxiety. Maybe you are looking forward to the four walls in your house and you are tired of watching paint dry and you're feeling a little stir crazy. Or maybe you have your kids and you're at home and you're teaching and you're trying to juggle 5 million things. And although you're at home, you're just feeling a sense of overwhelm. Or maybe you're driving into work because you are an essential worker and you don't know what you're walking into. Or maybe you're just in a space where you just need to feel whatever you feel. I want you to take a deep breath, and I am giving you permission today, right now, to feel exactly how you feel. I'm giving you permission today to just breathe in and out, and just know that you are worthy, you are wanted, you are loved, and you are more than enough. And I wanted to start today's podcast episode that way because I wanted you to feel in a way of just authenticity, non-threatening, and in a place where I just really set the intention that you are so wanted in this life, and that everybody, no matter what it is or how we are being faced with it, are going through something. We all just need to be aware of that. But last week we talked about how to thrive in this time and how to thrive in a way that is beneficial for us in the long run after all of this COVID stuff is done and over. And who knows how long that could be. People ask me my opinion all the time. Researchers are saying 18 months before things are back to normal. Nobody knows. But we do know there is an end. Nothing lasts forever. This is just a season and we will get through this. And we just have to be able to kind of ride out the storm. And as I was going through and figuring out different things to help you guys with and getting awesome feedback from last week's episode, I was sitting down and I was thinking about how I want you guys to thrive. I want you to feel this sense of accomplishment. So often people are always like, I work a 9 to 5 and I have to do this and I have to do this. And they've been complaining for so long about wanting to be home. And now that they're home and they can't even see the gratitude, they can't even see what's right in front of them. Your kid is not going to remember the time that, in 2020 when COVID hit. They're going to think about the time mommy and daddy were home, the time we got to go to the park a lot, the time that we played in the backyard, the time that we had game night, the time that we went to the movies in our living room and had a full-on picnic inside. That's what they're going to remember. And if you keep that perspective in mind, you'll realize that you don't just have to survive in this time, that you really can thrive during this time. So many women, so many people, so many moms are always saying, well, I'm just trying to survive this time. And once the kids go back to school, and I'm just trying to survive this time, and I'm just trying to go with the flow. I'm just trying to get through this time and just keep everybody safe. Yes, I want you to keep people safe. Yes, I don't want you to kill your kids. And yes, I want them to learn. But I don't want you to be in this mode of just survival. I don't want you to be in this fight or flight. I don't want you to be in this state of panic and stress, because your body can truly run on high levels of cortisol for so long. And if you're in that constant state of survival, you will burn out. But then I want you to think in the sense of, what are you giving to yourself during this time of survival for you? And why can't you see the bigger picture of thriving during this time? Take use of this time, create a strategy, create a template, create a schedule, sit down with your significant other and plan out a Google Calendar of what is loosely going to be on the itinerary for the day, the week, and sit down and come up with a combination of the ways that you can incorporate kid time and you and spouse time and partner time and alone time, and just some really good modes for you to just pour back into yourself. I think that's one of the biggest things that people lose sight of, is they forget to take care of themselves. And as I'm sitting here and I'm talking with you, I think about just looking outside the window and seeing people walk by and going for walks and getting outside. You need to be in the mode of, this is what's going to benefit me so that I feel like I'm thriving. I don't ever want people to feel like they're closed off or they're isolated or that they're alone. I talk about this all the time. I wish they would stop saying social distancing and saying physical distancing, because a lot of people who struggle with depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, or some type of mental disorder, they really do feel alone, and now even more so. So when I talk about thriving, I'm talking about right now, this should be the time that you're reading more personal development, reading more books, opening up a business, figuring out how to be online, figuring out how to use some type of online platform, figuring out how to start your own Etsy company, figure out how to write that book, figure out how to do something that's going to make you feel like at the end of this, you thrive through this. I listened to a podcast by Dave Ramsey, and he was talking about how in 2008, the same thing happened. But in 2008, those companies like Tesla and companies with grocery deliveries and companies that are like really thriving in those times of downfall where everyone else is having to take a back seat, that's when you have your best work. Because at the end of this, there will be businesses that don't reopen. I want you to be in a place, in a predicament, whether it's financially, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, that at the end of this quarantine, at the end of COVID, you can say, I grew here. I took a chance here. I made this happen. And then where are you in life saying, I'm just surviving? I've talked to so many single moms in the last couple of weeks where they're just like, well, I'm just surviving and I don't know what my job's going to look like and I don't know what to do and I'm just trying to be a good mom and I just feel like I'm being a crappy mom and I feel like I'm failing. Right now you're in survival mode, sis. You're in survival mode because you're trying to make sure that you keep all of the things going, right? You're juggling a million things. And I get that more than you believe. I get that from one single mom to another. I get that. But here's what I need you to get. If you continue to stay in that survival mode, you will continue to live in that survival mode and you will die in that survival mode. And at the end of your life, you'll look back and say, I wish I would have, I should have, I could have, and I wanted to, but. And I don't want you to be there. And that goes for anyone, mom or not, woman, man, friend, sister, brother, whoever's listening to this. If you are in survival mode, you are literally going to live in survival mode, stay in survival mode, and die in survival mode until you make the decision to act. Because there is no problem that is an actual problem that can be solved with action. You can apply action and get yourself out of anything. There's a book that I love. It's by Marie Forleo, and it's called Everything is Figure-Outable. And she says, anything is figure-outable. And she kind of gives 3 little takeaways. And really, truly, a lot of times people say, well, I don't have the finances for this, and I don't have this, and I don't have that. If anything can be solved with action, it's not an actual problem, and everything is figure-outable. Everything. So when I'm looking and I'm saying, friends, I don't want you just to survive. It's because I love you and because I believe in you and because right now is the time that you should be thriving. You should be thriving in enjoying time with your kids because you've been wanting that. You should be thriving in being able to take walks outside. You should be thriving in the fact that you are working from home or you get to be home more often because you pay for a house and most of the time you're outside of it, but more than you are inside of it. Enjoy it. Get your, hubby and wifey to-do list out and enjoy that time. I want you to feel like you're thriving in the opportunity to do something that you're passionate about. If you want to start a business, if you want to figure out how to be an online coach, if you want some mentorship or some direction, guys, I say it all the time, go to www.borntoshinewellness.com, sit down and do a discovery call with me and figure out what's the best way. Maybe you're trying to launch your nursing brand or you're launching a mommy brand or you're trying to launch a business on Etsy. I'm here to help. Or maybe you're like, Mariah, I just need to get healthy myself and I need to get fit myself. Guys, I have an entire online health coaching wellness business that I thrive off of and I want to help you. You deserve that. I believe in you. And the last thing that I'm going to say is inconvenience exposes commitment. There's a lot of times where we say, yes, we're committed to this relationship. Yes, we're committed to being the best at this. Or yes, we're committed to whatever. And then a lot of times the inconvenience of the work that needs to get put in, the things that need to be done, the waking up an hour earlier, staying out of bed an hour later, the inconvenience exposes your true commitment. And a lot of times people say, I'm committed to my happiness. I'm committed to my health. I'm committed to my spouse. I'm committed to my family. But then whenever it's inconvenient for them, they realize that they're really truly not that committed because they can't stay committed to it. And they don't allow they sit there and they dwell on how inconvenient it is. Yeah, it's inconvenient to stay up later to spend time with your spouse, or it's inconvenient to wake up an hour earlier to work your business, or it's inconvenient to write that book during lunch. But what's your commitment? Where are your values and where are you saying, I'm ready to thrive and not just survive? So friend, I wanted to kind of tag team on the lines of what I talked about last week and empower you and inspire you to know that you can survive in this time, but more than anything, you can thrive during this time. You just have to be willing to act. You just have to be willing to show up, and you just have to be willing to believe that everything is figure-outable. And if you truly are committed, show up, be brave, be bold, and dive in head first. And above all, remember that you are wanted, needed, worthy, loved, and more than enough in this life. And that at the end of this COVID season, because there is an end, you can be in the position of Tesla. You can be in the position of greatness if you choose to act in it. All right, guys, I love you. I would love for you to take a moment and leave a rating or a review and just let me know what your thoughts are, how this is helping. Take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at Dr. Fit White. Come find me on Instagram or Facebook, Mariah Karen White or Dr. Fit White on Instagram. Check out my website at www.borntoshinewellness.com and see all of the things that I have to offer, but also get the latest episodes there directly on the website because I'm truly here to help you and your family live the best possible life. And I truly believe that you, my friend, were made for more and that your life matters.
What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of the Your Life Matters podcast. I'm so grateful that you're here. I just ask that you share this episode with somebody. I ask you to just share it and give it to somebody who could potentially need to hear this message. I really am on a mission to help hundreds of thousands of people to believe that their mess is their message and that their story really does matter. And that above all, their life matters. I'm so grateful that you're here. I want you to share this episode. And then on top of that, if you could please leave a rating or a review or both. Let me know what speaks to you. Let me know what you need to hear. Let me know what you've connected with, because that's going to be the best way that I can make sure that I'm giving you guys exactly what you need. I love you guys with all my heart. I'm so grateful for you, and I want you to know the difference and the impact you guys make in my life. I love seeing your messages. I love seeing when you guys private message me or screenshot it and share it on Instagram or Facebook, because it lets me know that this podcast is doing exactly what it was meant to do. And it's to make sure that there's an impact being made and to help remind you and everyone else that your life